Hey, I'm Rich. Welcome to the show. As soon as my darling wife is done with her primping for the camera here, we'll get this intro over with and I can get on the road.
I just like to brush my hair in the morning.
Oh yeah. You don't think that they're ready for the au natural look right out of bed?
No.
Well, I'm excited.
Yeah.
And you know what it's like when you go out there. Every trap, it's Christmas Day.
It's like a kid with Christmas with this guy.
But today is Christmas Day.
Today is Christmas Day. We've opened our gifts and now and had breakfast and now you're on your way to open your other gifts.
Yes, I am, and I'm excited. I've got a long ways to go today.
Yeah, I know, it's a big trip.
So, what time is turkey supper?
Turkey supper's at 6.
At
Better
6.
be back.
All
Or I'll
right.
be enjoying it in the gravy all by myself.
No!
Yeah.
Gravy's the best part. Stick with us, come along. We're going to have a pile of fun today, and you're going to see just as it happens. I might get skunked or I might have a great day. Who knows?
Who knows?
That's
Have a good
trapping.
day.
Trapping is the cornerstone that Canada was built on. Brave and sometimes crazy men and women, fueled by the lucrative fur trade, explored and mapped our great nation. Hundreds of years have passed since then, but trapping still remains vibrant, strong, and steeped in the ancient traditions. The fur bearers still follow the old paths and live as dictated by thousands of years of instinct. Fur only gets prime in the harsh temperatures of winter, and trappers must respect and prepare for the weather. Trapping's past is firmly rooted in history, but today, the gear and techniques have changed. Canada is still known for the best wild fur in the world, and today our pelts are sold on the global market. Our community is large, and our numbers are growing. We are trappers. This is what we do, and where we belong. Join us in our adventures. Welcome to Trapping Inc., the face of today's trapper.
What a spectacular Christmas day. The moose have been playing all over this hillside here. Of course, the poplar, the aspen, the willow and that's their winter food. And they've been playing. I've been watching hard for a shed. Usually they get playing and they knock one another around and I get to find a shed or two for Sandy. But it is Christmas Day. And see what I got here? I got me another present. I got me another marten. What a beauty. What a beauty. This is one of the original boxes. So this will be the 7th season that box has been there. It's been on various different logs as the bears come around and knock it down all the time. And it produces every year. Every year. This is the first one for this year though, and on Christmas. So I mean that's really late for it. But this is the time of year that I always take and check my bait, my lures. Must have had another one here. Got a little scuffed on the side here. Oh my goodness, is that ever light? Look at that. Look how light, that light grayish color. That's unusual. Male. Very light. That's got to be the lightest one that I have caught forever, I'd say. Wow. Wow. This time of year is when things have dried out enough that the meat is more like wood, but oh, come on. And the pygmy shrews, oh yeah, look at that. pygmy shrews come in. I had some today, and I'll bring a picture up here right now. That's what they look like. They start looking just like a science project, but this was half of a muskrat. And you can see that they go in there and they just gnaw it away. They leave the bones, but they manage to get all the meat. So it's that time of the year, and you can just see where they start eating their way in. It's like flavored wood, I guess, but it has to dry out. They don't do it when it is wet or soggy or even frozen. It's got to be like freeze dried. Whoo-wee. That bait has got some hum this year. It's an old box. It's seen the wars. Give her a little bit of freshening up. I freshen my lure every third check, and then depending on how cold it is, I will, the colder it is, the quicker that meat freeze dries, and the quicker then those pygmy shrews get on it, right?
Trapping Inc. is brought to you by these fine sponsors. At Old Smokes, we slow roast our coffee over a fire, making it smooth, flavorful, and memorable. You can order our smoked coffee online. Crafted coffee for the courageous. Southland Trailer Corporation makes a trailer for any job. Southland Trailer, behind you all the way. Why trust your hunt to anything less than the best? Carl Zeiss Sport Optics. Confidence in the toughest conditions. High quality hunting and spectacular trophies create memories of a lifetime. Let Guy Swart from Wild Horizon help you plan your dream African safari.
Hey, I love it. Another Christmas present. Another Christmas present. Okay. Oh, it's a pretty nice kitty. Pretty nice. I have no idea. Male or female, it is really, really hard to tell. Might be female. I don't know. Everything's so internal. You have to have them half skinned before you can figure out whether it's a male or female. Probably last night, because it's not frozen too hard. Just nicely stiff. Beautiful neck catch. And he made a little bit of a Husker-Du out of my little pen here. I didn't even wire this in place. This pole is just free. See that? And that's how far he got. Jammed her in the ground, and as I showed you on that one piece of video there, their carotids are very, very exposed.
All right, I said I was going to talk about what actually a snare does. You take a look at this. There's a carotid, and there's a carotid. You can see how close they are to the surface. Just the hide over top of it, that's it. But you can see how they stop or occlude the blood flow from here into the brain. And you can see how all these veins are just swollen. Like, you really have to be careful when you're skinning these out. If you nick one of these veins or arteries, there's just blood everywhere. There's blood all over your hide, and you have a mess to deal with. But that is what a snare does. Don't let anybody tell you that you are suffocating or that you are choking an animal. All you're doing is you're occluding these veins so that the blood flow stops to the brain. It's no different than an MMA fighter when he puts a sleeper hold on another fighter. Same thing exactly. Just gray out and go to sleep.
So that was on a lynx using my favorite lynx snare. And it's pretty graphic. It's pretty graphic, but it shows very clearly what's going on. They are not suffering an agonizing death through suffocation or through choking out. They are simply having those arteries occluded. And once the occlusion happens and the blood flow ceases, and it's not very long before they're dead. That's what we look for. I mean, as trappers, we want to be ethical. These animals have to be managed. We want to be ethical, but we also need to start sticking up for ourselves, folks. This is the whole problem, is that people talk about strangulation and suffocation and, oh, I choked him down with a snare. No,
We actually very ethically and humanely killed an animal. We got the job done. And that's what it amounts to. Right now, the Fur Institute Council of Canada is doing studies on snares, and specifically on snares with kill springs. They're looking to make things more efficient as far as getting the job done. Unlike most places in the United States, here in Canada, our snares are lethal, and they're meant to be lethal. We don't believe that having an animal in a leash is an ethical or humane situation. We're going to be killing that animal, we might as well kill it right away. So, when we talk about snares, I don't want to hear anybody talking about choking them down or strangling them or anything else. We occluded them.
There we go. We want him to look right at that. We want him to think, I can just reach my nose in there and touch it. Maybe give it a good sniff, right? Then a couple of smooth sticks to guide his feet. And there we go, from totally destroyed to it's back in business. Let's get this beauty in the sleigh and get heading her down the road. That's gotta be, I'm gonna say 20, 21 pounds. Okay, you may not recognize this beaver dam in this condition, but every year, about where the other side of that washout is, I have a mink box setting, and every year I get a couple of mink from it sitting right over there. Well, now it's washed out. It's washed out during the big flood here, and here is the really weird part. I've still got my mink box down here, and it's sitting here waiting next to the creek, you know, like we always do, right? And there has not been a single mink track or otter track or anything up this creek this year. Is that weird or what? I don't know whether they know that there's no dam here, but I mean, otter travel every year, you know, to come to this dam, and they travel a lot of miles cross country. And now that it's washed out, there's not an otter track, there's not a mink track. Isn't that strange? It was pretty deep here, wasn't it? That is a sight for sore eyes. This is the tough part about, there was very little snow, and it had crusted over, and then it snowed since, so obviously, he has sensed the snow. But there he is. Ooh, looks like a nice cat too. Looks like a big cat. This pen has not been set up for very long. This is my crossover through the middle line, and I was very late getting it set up this year. I barely got it set up in the month of December, which is, I mean, December is when this all starts. There we go. I think he's a pretty big kitty. Sure looks nice blue-gray. Put that with him so I don't lose it. Always clean your junk up. Always. There we go. I'm gonna just touch up my stick here. And clean up my pan while I'm in here. Don't take much. I'll do my pen before I set that back up again so that I don't get covered in the goo. Like I got a good catch on that goo again this year. Let's see what we got here. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. That's a beautiful cat. Look at the size of those feet. Look at that. That is a beauty. Beautiful light belly. Beautiful blue color. Look at the size of the head on him. That's a good one. Right on.
Trapping Inc. is brought to you by these fine sponsors. Argo Extreme vehicles conquer any season, any terrain. See all the new models at your nearest dealer. Argo, go anywhere. Range Road Enterprises understands hard work and the value of a buck. Our products work as hard as you do. See our full line of firewood processors, sawmills, and more at your nearest dealer. Midland Radio helps you stay in touch in the wild. Check out the new X-Talkers at your nearest dealer. Communication for every adventure. Take your best to the best. J. Martin Taxidermy. Recreating the memories of your hunt with precision, passion, and pride.
Christmas Day. I got me a Christmas present right here. Oh yeah. Beautiful. Beautiful. A female. A female. Oh, she made the heck of a mess out of that screen. I'm guessing I'm going to replace that. She's froze in there pretty good, so she once again was not the last one here. Just the one that caught it. This is a good one. This is a good one, and it's good every year for Fisher and for Martin and everything else. It's just the big mixed forest out here. See this? It's not all one, it's not the other, but you got all that understory, all that buckbrush we call it, and that is where the voles and the mice live. Let me grab another trap, get some bait. We'll get this guy changed out. I'm just about late for Christmas dinner, so I can get everything set up before I even take the trap off. It was time for fresh bait anyway, but it seems that the bait had enough traction yet. It probably did, because we haven't had any big, terrible cold this time of this year so far. Get that out of the way. It'll be focused on that, and I'll be out of focus. Usually, by this time of the year, we've had a lot of cold, and it freeze dries the meat, which makes it attractive to the mice and voles for one thing, but for another, it removes a lot of the scent. But I can see where, you know, we had a warm day here a little while ago, and I can see where the meat had thawed, and it had the slurry had ran down here, so it was still had lots of attraction, and that's what's important. I get asked lots, how do I anchor these traps in here? I just shove them into that slot, and then I take and force them like that. I pull those, in this case I'm pulling them up on my springs, and that's wedging it down against the bottom. The trigger at the top has lots of room for clearance. That's pretty. In beautiful condition. My goodness. Small, which is not where the money is. But it's a beautiful Christmas present anyway. Well, let's give her some more attraction. well, she's more than dark 30. I'm out in the middle of the big swamp. You've seen it a few times on the show before. And you can see the water that runs through here. This gully, and you can see that the otters follow it. And I have an otter trap sit right up here. And there he is. Oh yeah. There was 2 of them. I only got the one. You see the 2 tracks? Oh, and something's been eating on it. That's unfortunate. Bird. Dang bird. That's a nice otter. It's oh man, he's gonna go, I bet you 25 pounds. I wonder if I might be able to get him out of here. If I can get him back out, I'm gonna set this trap right back here again. Because there's obviously more. Otter traps like this, you know, he follows this water, and as far as you can see here, you can see where the little creek goes, and they follow it. They follow it right out and across the big swamp and everything, right? So it's a great place to set, and you'll catch otter on it all winter long. Just finishing up the Winter's Beaver. This is probably the darkest one I've got. It's gorgeous. I did make it back for Christmas dinner on time. I didn't have my darling be waiting for me. And I filmed it, and then I had it cut together to put it on the show, and I thought, you know, it takes up a couple of minutes. I could show another Martin or another lynx that time, and I think that's what the people want to see. But Sandy said maybe not. So we have a new website, www.trappinginc.com. Go there and send us an email and let us know what you think. Did you want to see a little bit of time around the cabin and Sandy's home cooking, or did you want to see another Martin or lynx? Anyway, let us know what you think. Hope you had a great time today. We sure did. And maybe we'll see you down the line.
Do you have a question? Would you like more interaction? You can connect with us and all our social media sites from our website at trappinginc.com.